Hey, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk. It is Thursday, February 25th, and a little special bonus episode here. A good friend of mine visiting town. Just met this guy about 6 months ago at the LA Auto Show. Byron Bowers and I went, and Byron introduced me to a mutual friend of his, Marcus Price. And immediately we hit it off. We're into a lot of the same things: cars, comedy, photos, photography, music. And it's rare when you meet someone in your life. I'm fucking 50. I meet someone and it's like, oh, this guy fucking gets it. And we hit it off and have become great friends. And through hanging out, I find out he an interesting dude, man. He works for Hannibal and Amy Schumer, traveling the globe with them as their videographer and photographer. He plays music. He's in four different bands. He's going to be at South by Southwest this year. This guy, I love him, man. He reminds me a lot of myself. Just fucking out living life, man. And what a fucking celebration. You know, when you meet somebody that is just out doing it, having fun, not a slave to the grind. So it was great to have him on, and I kind of wanted to, have him on so you guys could meet him and maybe enjoy what he does. He takes amazing photos. There's some of them in my Instagram feed right now. And he also, he's just a great dude. He drives a Gremlin. Remember that car, the AMC Gremlin? He's also got a Porsche 928, which right away we dug into. And 928 is fastly becoming my favorite Porsche now. Porsche, whatever you want to say. Porsche. Anyway. Get back into this. Let's get into this. Before we do, I hope I can see you guys at some shows coming up real quick. If you're listening today, I'm going to be at the Comedy Store Saturday night at the Original Room, and also be tomorrow night. I'm going to be in Malibu. All the info is in my Twitter feed and Instagram, and I'll also be at the West Side Comedy Theater Friday night, February 26th, 8 p.m. Just a quick run through of some shows here because since it's a Thursday. Next Wednesday, huge show. Death Squad Secret Show, Rogan, me, Florentine. Who else is on this? Hold on, I want to get this flyer up. Red Band, of course, put together another monster comedy concert. Tom Rhodes is on, Sam Tripoli, George Buress. Next Wednesday. March 3rd. Fantastic. Real quick, I am on Snapchat now. If you want to follow me, Marcus and I talk about Snapchat. Is it any good? Should we be on it? Does anybody care? I've put up like 4 Snapchats. Not one person's looked at them yet. Anyway, keep the candles lit and have a good time. And don't forget, this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. You want to make a website, go to Squarespace. No longer do you need to hire someone and give them thousands of dollars to make some website you can't update and operate yourself. Squarespace takes the handcuffs off, makes it fantastic, super easy, look like a computer nerd. Finally, you can be a computer nerd with Squarespace. Walk around, tell girls you are a website designer, and boom, they're going to think you're rich. But no, it's super cheap. Make a website, look like a king, look like $1 million. If you're a rock band, a comedian, a small business, or just somebody that wants to have a website. Maybe you want to sell some records or audio equipment and you want to put up a website, MrHiFi.comedy. Anyway, Squarespace. Punch in the code Let There Be Talk. Get some good deals. Don't sleep. Let's get into it right now. Here he is, Marcus Price. All right, here we are, another episode of LTBT Talk. Great guest today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Marcus Price.
Marcus Price? Yeah. People are like, who's Marcus Price? It's funny because I feel when you go through life, you meet a million people, and then it'll just be like, oh, this guy gets it. You know, and
Absolutely.
So you and I meet at the car show through Byron Bowers, and then boom, we immediately love all the same shit.
That's exactly it. I mean, we love loud music, fast cars,
Yeah,
dope clothes.
yeah, don't put comedy.
Comedy, absolutely.
Yeah. Now it's so funny because that's how life goes. Like you just think, oh, I'm good on Friends, and then you'll meet someone and you go, boom, this guy, it's in.
Yeah, and I mean, you're like me. You travel a lot. You meet a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, someone stands out. You know what I mean? That's totally how I feel about you.
That's it, man. So let's talk a little bit about you and I meet at the LA Auto Show last year, right? A year ago.
It was like in November, was it, or December?
Was it this year?
Yeah, it was 2015.
Yeah, it seems so long ago already, right? No, because I'm already looking at 17s online, and we were just there looking at the 16s.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And we meet through Byron, and you live out in New York now, but you actually work for some comedians.
Exactly.
You work for Amy Schumer.
Yep. I travel with Amy, and I travel with Hannibal. Those are the two that I work with the most. But I mean, through them, I've met damn near everyone.
And you do like photos and videography for them, right?
Yeah, like kind of lifestyle stuff. Because I mean, when you're on stage, you'll get the same 7 photos every night. You know, holding the microphone, like pointing the audience. I think the most memorable stuff is the things that happen off the stage and on the way to and from the venue. And
how did you get that gig? Because it's funny, I did a little bit of that stuff for a while, like with Wallflowers and other people, just out videography.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
I linked up with Hannibal through a mutual friend of ours, a guy named Igor. He lives out in New York. He runs this thing called Driven by Boredom. He does a lot of event photography, and he's kind of like a amateur pornographer as well. He's a really great guy. But he introduced Hannibal and I. When Hannibal came to California, I linked up with him. I liked what he did. He liked what I did. So that's just kind of how it...
Oh, wow. So you were living in California still, San Diego?
Yeah, I was in San Diego at the time.
Wow.
So he did the...
What year was this?
Maybe 2011?
Right.
2011, 2012, something like that.
And you said, hey, man, I shoot photos and stuff, or you just met him as a friend?
Well, Igor introduced us via email.
Right.
And Igor said, hey, like while you're in San Diego, link up with this guy, Marcus. He'll take your photo. So we did that. And then I also do a lot of graphic design. So I started doing all those posters and T-shirts. And it just kind of became a great relationship. And then through him, I met Amy and I met Aziz. And
yeah. Now, were you out on the Oddball at all with Amy?
No, I missed the Oddball tour, but I hear it was fucking great.
Yeah, right? Just airplanes. You know what I mean? Like,
all the photos made me incredibly jealous. But
yeah, you're just like, fuck. I mean, I'm almost not sure if I'd want to be on that tour, because after that, it's all downhill.
You're ruined. You're ruined completely.
Not Amy, but like, say, a middle guy, and you're just out on G5s and all say, you're doing Red Rocks and stuff. And then you just go back to your Thursday at the, fucking Oklahoma Tavern or whatever.
Yeah, a couple weeks before I came to LA, I was with Amy, and I can't remember where exactly. We went to Seattle for New Year's, and I flew with her, and that was gorgeous. Like a great airplane. I don't know which one I wanted exactly. But then right after that, I flew out here on Spirit Airways. So I went from like the private jet to Spirit, which is fucking crooks, man. They're
oh, God. Spirit is just like, it should be called Evil Spirit. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. I don't know how you could sit on a seat and it just immediately kills your ass. And you're going like, well, I've just sat down. We're not even off the runway yet. And my ass is dead.
Yeah, they act like they're trying to pass on savings to you. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, they get you coming and going.
Now, so you're shooting photos for them and stuff, and you've been shooting some photos with me all week, and people could see them on Instagram. Incredible. Have you always been a photographer? How'd you get into that?
Nah, I'm giving myself away here, but no, not really. I mean, when I was younger, when I was in high school, I did a photography independent study. I've always known how to handle a camera, and I've always had one about the house.
Right.
But it wasn't until I started snapping with Hannibal that I was like, okay, like I'm actually decent. I'm good at this, you know what I mean? And people really liked what I did, so it kind of just popped off from there. But before that, I was making my bread just by doing graphic design and playing music.
You're playing music. Yeah, we're going to get into your music because it's so funny to talk music with people because they always ask me stuff about it, you know. We'll get into that. But now you shot a photo of Dalia and I at the Swingers last night.
Yeah, Swingers.
And it fucking great. It came out great. Did you modify that on the computer at all?
No, I made it black and white. You know what I mean? And I adjusted the blacks and contrast a little bit, but no, I wasn't popping pimples or nothing.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, man, it looks it looks great, like a fucking killer photo, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's in part by the camera, but also, yeah, I mean, I like what I do, and I think that really anyone enjoys what they do. I think it really shows in their work, no matter what the case, you know.
What camera are you using? Because people are going to want to know, you know.
That one I shot on Fujifilm. Came out with this X series. That's the Fujifilm X Pro one. Came out, I guess, 3 years ago at this point. But they're doing the X Pro 2 now, which I'm looking forward to. But
yeah,
great fucking camera. I like it because it's small. You know, I mean, it takes a great photo, but it's kind of unassuming because when you go into a room and you pull out like a big DSLR, like a Canon or something, everyone knows it's there. You know what I mean? And so people kind of, they feel it, there's presence, so people kind of tense up. With that camera, everyone seems to just act natural, which is what I dig. I do like lifestyle kind of candid things.
Can you shoot video on that also?
Yeah, it shoots video.
And how's the sound on it?
Terrible.
It's
terrible. When I'm shooting video, I'll hook up a microphone to like a 5D or something. But
now, what about shooting some specials? You have any like desire to go out and shoot a comedy special or anything?
I'd love to. I shot Hannibal special in Minneapolis.
You did?
The Netflix special, yeah.
Well, you shot that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I shot like the stills for it. I didn't do the video for
gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
So I did all the stills for that, and we did all like the portrait gallery stuff. So any like of the promo materials you see.
The brand new one.
Yeah. I passed a billboard last night on Siena Go. This is Comedy Commissado Tour. I shot that photo.
Wow. Well, you must have been just going like, fuck yeah.
I pulled over. I had to take a picture.
Yeah? Did you take a picture of it?
Yeah, I got it.
Wow.
I guess there's another one on Sunset, I think, maybe. But
now, when you're traveling with, I've traveled with a lot of people and stuff over my years, and you're shooting Amy or let's say Hannibal or Aziz. At any time, do they just say like, not right now, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think one of the reasons that people like having me around is because I can catch a vibe really easily. First of all, I'm not a creeper, you know what I mean? I'm easy to be around, I like to think. But also, I can read a vibe easily if now's not the time, you know.
Yeah.
Getting the shot isn't the most important thing. It's, you know.
So you land this gig. Is that why you moved to New York?
No, I moved to New York because I was living in California.
Yeah.
And I had my cheap apartment, and I drove my vintage car, and I'd ride my bike to the beach, and I'd hang out in the park, and I felt like I was retired. And I was like, shit, man, I got to get the fuck out of here. I feel like I got shit to do.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 32 years old.
32, yeah, right?
But I was living like a reward lifestyle that I hadn't earned. You know what I mean? It's beautiful down there, don't get me wrong, but for me personally, it was making me too sleepy, so I had to get out.
Yeah, what part of San Diego were you living?
I was in Hillcrest.
Oh, Hillcrest, great record store there, man.
Yeah,
I don't like to say the name because people just feel that they're already going to know. Yeah, but man, there's an incredible ramen joint in there, man.
Ramen?
Next door to the record place. I'll just say the name, Record City.
Yeah, no,
I just fucked it up for me, but if you come out of Record City and you go left, it's the next building over, and it is incredible.
A lot of great food in that neighborhood.
I know, right?
Yeah, I lived at, like, it's kind of like how your situation here is that you're not right on the main strip, but you have to walking distance to everything, you know?
It's fucking great, man. And, you know, and then you can just pop right on the freeway right there and go anywhere.
Exactly.
So, all right, so you're living there and you moved to New York. Now, that's got to be a fucking price change right away, right?
I'll give you the exact numbers. I went from paying $400 a month to rent.
$400 for your own place?
I shared with a couple guys. But
right.
So, but I had my own. I mean, I lived on the top floor, so it was like I basically had my own spot.
Right.
So I went from paying $400 to $1,600.
Oh.
Which, I mean, granted, where the neighborhood I live in,
cheap.
16 is still pretty good.
For New York, hell yeah. You got roommates?
No, it's just me.
Wow. What kind of, and how small is it?
It's small, Dean.
Yeah.
It's a one bedroom.
Oh, wow.
I live in Fort Greene, which is a great neighborhood. It's like the only place I want to live. So
really,
I'm holding on to it if I can.
And where, don't lose that. Are you under rent control or anything?
Well, my landlady lives above me. I think she likes me.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of up to her. But right now, I think I'm...
Wow. Now, where is that neighborhood? It's right off of like Williamsburg.
So it's about like kind of southwest of Williamsburg. You can ride your bike there. It's real close, but it's Fort Greene is sort of like a historically black neighborhood. Spike Lee's studio is there.
Oh, dope.
Wesley Snipes came out of there. Chris Rock lived there for a while.
Wow.
The band Living Color. They're from Fort Greene.
Look in my eyes.
Exactly.
And do you ever see him cruising around in those bike shorts?
Yeah, I've seen some of them around actually. But it's a great neighborhood. I love being there.
I'm a huge Spike Lee fan. Are you? I just absolutely love Spike Lee. Growing up, his films just blew my mind. I met him last year when he was shooting Gerard's special, and it was just so fucking great to meet that guy. I mean, Do the Right Thing. I think it turned 30 last year or whatever. They got a coffee table book out on it now and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a masterpiece film.
Yeah.
You know?
Incredible.
And talk about photography. I love the look of all of Spike Lee's films, you know, early on, you know, like Do the Right Thing, the Get on the Bus, the Jungle Fever, especially the candy store stuff on Jungle Fever, you know? It had that burnt amber look.
Yeah.
The guy's fucking great.
He's a visionary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. He's in the neighborhood. His studio's still there.
You see him around?
I see him around. His dad is my neighbor.
Really?
Yeah.
His dad's still alive?
Yeah, his dad's
Wow,
there.
that's cool.
Bill Lee he's a legendary jazz bass player, upright bass player. Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking great, man.
But yeah, Spike Lee does these like block parties like a couple times.
Oh yeah, he did that one with Chappelle. Wow.
Yeah, but he does these pop-up shops where they sell off old 40 acres.
And a mule
that like never sold before. You get like vintage gear. It's really cool.
Yeah. I love that guy, man. It's so funny to. I watched a documentary on Do the Right Thing, and they went back to the hood and they showed how they filmed it and everything. It's so different back then than now.
Yeah.
Now it's like $1 million to live on that street, you know.
That block, they actually renamed it Do the Right Thing Way.
I saw that. That was when they did that party with.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Oh, you were there. Public Enemy, but Flavor Flav wasn't there. It was so weird.
Might be hard to find that guy sometimes.
I know, right? Like, hey, man, you got to be there. You ever see Public Enemy? Besides that, I saw him back in the day, and it was so gangster.
Yeah, I saw them. I can't remember what year it was, but I mean, not back in the day, but it was still a great performance.
I saw him on the Do the Right Thing, the Fear of the Black Planet tour, which had Fight the Power on it, and I never forgot it. Digital Underground opened, and people kept coming up to me going like, "Hey, man, where's the bathroom?" They thought I worked there. Dude, that's a true story. Then I saw him at House of Blues about 10 years ago, and it was great. Yeah. But this was after September 11, so the SW1s didn't have the guns anymore. They had swords.
No shit.
Yeah, because
they carried swords.
Yeah, swords.
That might even be cooler.
It was cooler. They were spinning the swords and shit. It was fucking great.
Urban samurais.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're out there in New York, and you start working with Hannibal, and you're gone a lot then, right?
Almost all the time.
Right.
2015, I don't think I spent more than maybe like 5 days a month in my apartment.
Wow. And all out with Hannibal or Amy also?
Mostly with Hannibal.
Right.
With Hannibal. I spent like the last part of 2015 out with Amy a lot. But with Hannibal, we went all over the place. I mean, he did the Comedy Commissar tour. It lasted about a year and did every major
Who was
city.
on that tour?
So Al Jackson was one of his frequent openers.
Yeah.
Byron came out for a little while.
Oh, Byron got to do something?
Byron did somewhat. He did Vegas with us and a couple other dates. This comic, Simeon Goodson, who's from New York. Simeon actually moved to Abu Dhabi now, which is...
what a weird place to move, right?
Yeah, well, his wife took a job out there, and he said, I'll go with you. So that's what you do. But he's still... I saw him out there, actually, and he's doing great. He's got great material. So when he comes back to the States, he'll have plenty of material to pull from. But yeah, so who else am I thinking of was on that tour?
Were you guys doing theaters?
Yeah, all theaters.
Wow.
And he sold out practically every show.
That's crazy, right? Because you and I were talking last night. It's a strange animal of trying to, and we can talk about music about this too, of getting butts in the seats, you know? Because let's look at it. You got like Louis, you've got Burr, Marin, Hannibal, Aziz, Amy, CK, a few others. Let's just say that probably like 10, maybe 20, let's just say, out of thousands of comedians. that can sell tickets, which is something I never think about. You know, when you're starting, you're like, oh, I can't wait to sell tickets. You don't think about that, and I still don't think about that. But it's strange when you are doing tons of work, and because you play music. Yeah. And then you show up somewhere and there's like 20 people and you're like, fuck.
It's tough because you want to focus on what you're good at. You want to focus on writing your jokes and performing. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to focus about promoting and setting up tours and all this stuff. Like, let someone else handle it if you can. But that's not a luxury that everybody has. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like you were telling me that you ship all your T-shirts. Like, that's fucking crazy.
I do everything myself right here. Yeah. Look on the floor there, man. Fucking back starts hurting.
Yeah, you got shipping labels.
Yeah, I got labels there, and then boxes. It was just a pile of shit, and I'm just handwriting because I don't have a printer.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with me because we said we'll talk about music later, but having played music for so long, I just want to be a bass player most of the time. But I wasn't just a bass player. I was a concert promoter. I did management. I did PR. I did booking. I did. Bass playing was the smallest portion of what I did, even though that's all I really care about.
Yeah, it's really weird because you really just want to be an artist. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, it's a double-edged sword because I've learned so much great stuff about it that I think it's helped me in my comedy career to get me somewhere in 6 years instead of 20. But a lot of people don't understand. For the last 25 years, I've been doing this stuff.
Yeah, you've been schooling yourself, and you've been doing comedy for 6 years, but you've been in entertainment for the past how many years?
Exactly. So it's 32 years, you know, and you just kind of you know everything. Like, this guy's greasy. This guy's check's gonna bounce, and that sounds like a shitty gig, and I don't need to go to fucking such and such for 8 people, you know, whatever.
I'm sure you know how to handle it if someone tries to stiff you for your money too.
Yeah, it's a lot of like what we're talking about on social media. You and I and anybody kind of in the game. We still call it the game. Yeah, you and I in this game.
It is a game, man.
It's a game that never ends, man. I keep thinking, tilt this fucking pinball machine, man. But it's funny. Like I was just talking to you, like now we're up on Snapchat. You know?
Yeah. You just signed up for Snapchat today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Snapchat. It's weird because I think all the time back on, I thought MySpace just crushed Facebook. Yeah. As far as you could design an incredible website on MySpace.
Yeah, you could, if you had the talent or the time, you could make something beautiful.
Oh, it's so great without, and Facebook just looked like Craigslist, like nothing. Like, well, this ain't going to catch on. It's garbage.
Very sterile.
I still don't like Facebook. I don't use it. There's a fan page, but my point is, now, I'm in love with Instagram because I love photos and you love photos. And all of a sudden it's Snapchat and I'm like, it doesn't seem as good as Instagram to me.
Well, it's different. I think it's got a different purpose. I think with Instagram, a lot of people try to curate something very specific, very beautiful, you know what I mean? Which is great. I mean, like you put the best shit on Instagram. But the reason I like Snapchat is because it's very temporal. Like just like your life, you can't replay a moment from your life. So if you're trying to share something, if you're just out and about, experiencing something new, like throw it on Snapchat. It doesn't have to be the super well curated.
Didn't Snapchat just start out with a way to like send tit pics and dick pics?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was for.
Like
boobies, butts, and dicks.
Yeah, that was like that's what it seemed. That's why I never signed up. I was like, I'm good.
No, it's past that now. It's a household product.
It is all of a sudden. You can tell when something all of a sudden is taking over because all of a sudden you're going like, wait, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, because the Tinder used to be purely a hookup app.
Right.
But now people are out there legit looking for love.
That is just disgusting. I never use Tinder because I don't have Facebook, first of all. And
I guess they go together, huh?
You know what I mean? And I'm always like, I mean, what are you going to meet on there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, people, they don't want to actually get out of their house and look for love. The most amount of energy they're willing to put into it is to sit down and swipe right or swipe left.
Well, it's almost like you have to use that now because if you try to meet a girl in public normal, they just think you're a creep. You ever say hi to a chick in a grocery store? It's unbelievable how they look at you. They're like, creep on aisle 9. He said
very
hi.
difficult. Very difficult.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's, I don't know what to say about it.
Hey, you use Tinder?
I've been on Tinder. Yeah, I'm not currently on it, but I gave it a trial run.
Yeah. There's all kinds of new ones. There's Bumble.
Bumble. There's
That Ramsey one or whatever. What's it?
Ramsey.
The star celebrity one.
Raya, one of the others.
Yeah, Raya, whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
Ramsey.
Which is, I mean, yeah. So I guess whatever I call it, Raya. Raya is exclusively for people in creative industries. So that's actors, artists, comedians, photographers, whatever. Yeah, it's invite only. Not invite. It's you have to be referenced to it essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's Hannibal put it this way. He explained it to me. He said Tinder is the public bus compared to Raya.
That's a great fucking Raya is like fucking town car.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
it's exclusive.
Smoked windows, people can't see in there.
Very exclusive.
Yeah.
Whereas with Tinder, it's anybody can get on and get off.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. That's one of the reasons I like Snapchat is because for me it's like what could be like a mundane day. Yeah. Snapchat helps me kind of like find the comedy in it. Like if I'm gonna try to piece together a story, something that I might not normally notice. If my eyes are kind of a bit more open. Like, what can I give to my followers today? Right. Now, how many followers you got? Roughly 200, so not that many. 1,500? Yeah, about 1,500. No, about 200. Oh, about 200. 200, yeah. Hey, dude, I'm old. I can't hear. My fault. Excuse me. Now, how about you? First day on Snapchat. Yeah, let's look real quick. Let's take a look. Okay. So your handle is just the same as your everything else. Dean Del Rey. Just Dean Del Rey. Yeah, now let's look here. So everybody add Dean. So I go here, right? And then I hit this ghost. No. Snapchat's a ghost, right? Yeah. And then added me. That'll show me. So these are all the people that are following you right now. Yeah. That's pretty good. For day one? Just today, yeah. Jeez, man. Yeah. Way to go. Okay, now there's no pictures of them, huh? No. That's weird, right? No pictures? Everybody send Dean pictures of yourself right now. No, I'm saying, like, you know how the ghost has my face in it? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's not... You don't see them? I added you. Where am I? No, I'm saying you don't see their face? Right, you should be able to. I mean, these ghosts? Not everyone may be turned on. Okay, let's see where you're at here. We're looking for you, and you're. I'll find it. Marcus. Well, yeah, but Price. I got Marcus Russell Price. I got my handle isn't the same as everything. It's Brooklyn Bart. Brooklyn Bart, but like Bart Simpson. Yeah, but no vowels in Brooklyn, so this is BRKLYN, then Bart BART. But I don't know. Where am I? I see. I'm trying to figure out. I think one thing about Snapchat, and I was talking to Dalia about it, is it seems clunky. Yeah. Okay, here I am, right? They're looking good, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm there. You're but there. How do I see the people that added me, their faces? Understand what I'm saying? It doesn't show up. If they did that feature, then it would be there. But it looks like most of the people. Oh, is that right? Okay, so they're all scared to show their face. Now, next up, I'm in my story, and you said you click here and then hit the dots, and you can see how many. Nobody's looked at my shit. Isn't that crazy? Hang on a second. I'm gonna view it right now. Yeah, I want to see that. No one's looking at my shit. Get one view. God, unless I'm following the. I sent you a snap. Did it not come through? I don't know. How do you see that? Maybe I added the wrong Dean. I don't know. Man, I thought I added you. So anyway, sorry people, but we're talking Snapchat because maybe a lot of people listen to this from Middle America and they're just getting on Twitter right now. Sometimes I'll meet people that go, I'm on the Twitter now. Twitter, I think, is exclusively for famous people at this point. Is that right? I don't know, man. I got a Twitter. Nobody cares. I'll post up something that I think is gold, and I'll get one like from my friend John I went to high school with. That's hilarious. Thank you, John. I love Twitter, man, because I got the most followers on Twitter, 15,000. That's pretty damn good. Let's see how many I have. And people respond to it pretty good. But Instagram seems to be my biggest, my funnest thing. I have 1,000 followers. I'm at 9,000 almost on Instagram. My last post, I said, "Where do you cut your toenails?" Where do you cut your toenails, Dean? Do you do it like just anywhere? I just do it in the bathroom. Like over the trash can or over the toilet or what? I don't know, actually. I never really thought about it. Just kind of... Well, you live on your own. You can do it anywhere. Well, I just pick the shit up. They don't fly everywhere? No. They're not like fucking BBs. My toenails are violent, man. Where'd you grow up? Outside of Philadelphia. Philly. And
And you got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got an older sister, I got an older brother, and I got a younger adopted brother.
Wow, adopted brother.
Yeah.
And what was that about? They wanted to have another kid and just...
Well, I did a lot of work overseas, actually, in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah.
And for a while, I was in Zambia. And my kid brother Moses, he's from Zambia, and I kind of just formed a relationship with him. And he himself was an orphan.
Yeah.
Both his parents were gone, but just a great fucking kid. So I went home and I told my parents about him. I said, hey, here's this kid Moses. He's great, but he doesn't really have anyone taking care of him.
Yeah.
So my parents said, yo, let's do this.
Wow. Now, what were you doing over there?
So I used to work for a couple different nonprofits. So I worked for this one that did work in Uganda. Helped start another one that did work in Congo.
What were you doing over there?
Well, I was working stateside. I was doing design work for them, kind of helping,
gotcha.
Doing like marketing and promotion.
What do your parents do?
My dad actually was a stand-up comic.
He was?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He helped get. He's from Philadelphia,
Yeah.
So he helped Kevin Hart get some of his original shows.
Whoa.
Way back when Kevin Hart went by the name Little Kev.
Little Kev.
Little Kev. So my dad used to promote comedy shows, and he himself was a comic, Doc Price. And so I guess that's probably where I got my first start, because he had a bunch of comedy records. He had Richard Pryor, and so.
And you never wanted to do comedy?
I always loved comedy. I just never thought I could actually.
Did he make money doing comedy in the the 70s?
This was like late 80s.
Late 80s, Eddie Murphy
90s.
era, Kinnison and Dice and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And was he out working the road?
He was mostly in like the tri-state area, Philadelphia.
Right.
I mean, like Pennsylvania, New York, Delaware.
But that was his job.
Well, he did that at the same time he worked at Boeing helicopters.
Boeing helicopters.
Yeah, so he built helicopters.
Oh man, I bet Burr would love to meet him. Burr just got his helicopter license.
Oh, really?
And he's flying all over the place.
It's tough, man. Helicopters are scary.
Yeah, they are scary.
I wouldn't like to do it.
Your dad, but your dad knows they're not scary, right? Like Burr says they're really not that scary. He knows how to land it if it ran out of gas or whatever.
If you have your license, I hope you'd know how to land it. Yeah. My dad, he built these for Boeing. He built like the big Chinook and the Osprey. I mean, he was part of a team, obviously. But, and also, I don't know if I told you this, my dad, he was a professional motorcycle racer. No, I did tell you this.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah,
your dad's a lot like you then, just does all kinds of shit.
Interdisciplinarian is the word someone used to describe us. Just a lot of different stuff.
Does he still work or is he retired?
He just retired last year.
From Boeing?
Yeah, so he's playing golf and traveling with my mom now.
Wow. And what's your mom do? She was just a mom?
Yeah, she had a couple of her own businesses. She's just so creative, like the handyman side of me I got from my mother.
Really?
So she's always building. So she for a while she ran her own snow cone shack that she built. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, she built this shack and she was selling snow cones out of it, and she did great.
A shack in Philly?
Outside of Philadelphia, in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania.
Right.
So she sold snow.
Did you grow up loving Rocky?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, right?
Sylvester Stallone, when he comes to Philadelphia, he's not Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
He's Rocky.
Yeah.
People are like, hey, Rock, come take a picture with my kid. He is Rocky.
Yeah. You ever been to that museum there that has all the freak shit?
What is this?
It's in Philly, and it's a museum that has two-headed... It's a science museum.
Well, there's the Franklin Institute.
Not that.
It's like a science museum.
This is a weird fucking place. I'll look it up.
I don't know.
And show it to you. It's in Philly. And what's your favorite cheesesteak there? Jim's or?
I go to Pat's, actually.
Pat's is great. That's
Pat's.
by the Rock Club there, right? On the corner?
Yeah, it's on Passyunk Ave.
Wait, what's the Rock Club there?
Which one are you thinking of?
It's like a great rock club. Oh, fuck. I can't remember the name.
You're talking about, you mentioned Jim's. That's
Across the street from Ishkabibbles.
Okay, so that's the TLA.
TLA, great club.
Yeah, the TLA is by Ishkabibbles and by Jim's.
Jim's.
Pat's is over on Passyunk Ave.
Jim's is my spot. You can eat upstairs too. It's got
Jim's
all the
is great.
stars photos. That shit is great.
Yeah.
My buddy likes Ishkabibbles because he thinks, I like it a little sloppy and gross.
Ishkabibbles is sloppy. They got some cool drink options there. and the line isn't as long. So that's why I like Ishkabibbles, because I can get in there pretty quick.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious, man. Philly's a great town, right?
Great town. Very great music, awesome art. Just a lot of history if you're into that kind of stuff.
I remember when they had the Liberty Bell there, right?
Yeah.
And I went there and I was just like, and I was clowning on it. And some people were mad. I was like, that thing's ropes.
It means a lot to people, man.
I know it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but
No. People, I mean, obviously, people get too tight about just about everything.
What was this long ass line?
You will wait in line all day.
That's what I did, and then I got in there. I was like, man,
not worth it. Look it through the window.
Yeah, right.
Or go on a weekday.
It's still cool though, but not as cool as the Rocky stairs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the art museum stairs.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Did you ever run up those?
I ran up it. And I was just done. You know what I mean? It's funny. I was reading a thing recently where they said if you actually did the run that Rocky did, it was like 17 miles or something.
Ridiculous.
Because it was all in different spots.
Yeah, like you watch it, like, oh, what a great Philadelphia looks really pretty. He ran all over that damn city.
Yeah.
I think science says if you actually did that run, you would drop dead.
Yeah,
your heart would explode in your chest.
So, at what point do you start getting into music? And you play bass, right?
I'm a bass player. Yeah.
And did you ever play anything else, or you were just straight up bass as your instrument?
I picked up the bass when I was maybe in ninth grade in high school, and the reason I chose bass because it had 4 strings instead of 6. It looked easier than guitar.
That's what I thought when I was young. But I also loved, like, of course, Rick James, and I say this a lot, Lakeside, you know, and a lot of that early, like, late 70s and into some Funkadelic and all that, had some of the best bass ever.
Amazing.
I had somebody on the podcast recently, one of the bass players. I have a lot of bass players. I think it was Michael Devin. But anyway, they said the reason they didn't like 80s music, because they play bass, was there's no bass on the 80s music.
No.
You know, they just squished it and it was just all guitar.
All guitar, yeah.
But 70s, you know, all that fucking stuff, even Motown, it's all driven on the bass.
Yeah, the bass was the
and
prominent
it's so
instrument,
fucking
really.
good. The bass is the fuck instrument, you know? It's just like, boom, bum, dum, boom, you know?
Yeah, I love playing bass now, but originally it's just because it looked easy. But now I wouldn't want to play anything else.
And who were you into? Were you into like Cliff Burton and shit like that? Or
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I told you, my dad had a pretty extensive record collection, or both my parents did. So, you know, listening to all this stuff like Marvin Gaye, like James Jamerson is maybe my favorite bass player, just incredible. And then later on, it's a mutual friend of ours, Juan Alderete, just incredible bass player.
Yeah, crazy.
So making friends with him was I called him my spirit animal.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. I've known that guy 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to watch him play. You know, I had him on the podcast, you know, and I grew up, he played bass. That's what he did. And then when he moved to L.A., he went to law school. He was out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. And then Mars Volta gets him back in.
So they kind of brought him out of retirement.
Yeah,
almost?
dude, he was like fucking lawyer, man. And
I remember reading an interview. I don't know if my memory's serving me correctly, but like that, I guess Omar and him got together and they were rehearsing the songs more as like a trial, like, see, are you into this?
Yeah.
And Omar says, well, what do you think? You think you can do it? And Juan says, yeah, I think so. And Omar says, good, because we have a show this weekend, basically.
Yeah. Hey, here's the great story he told. Wherever the first show was, they were backstage, and he didn't let, you know, because he was John already growing up.
Yeah.
And he was just like Racer X.
Long hair. Yeah.
And so then he joins Mars Volta, and it's a heavy Hispanic background and stuff. And he goes back to Juan already, and they're in this dressing room. And he said he looks over in the corner, and there's a picture of Racer X, and he's got hair teased up to the moon, and he's like, oh, I can't let them see that, because he's afraid if he sees that, they'll be like, you're out of here, poser. Yeah, whatever. So
he's a legend.
He's all hiding, you know, the whole time.
That's hilarious.
I love it, man.
That's really funny.
Yeah, man. So you're in a band now, right? You're in some 4 bands or something?
Something like that. 4 or 5. I don't know. I lost count.
That's how you kind of got to do it now, right? To even get something fucking going. But what is your main band?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have a main one right now. I mean, right this moment, I'm playing with an LA band called Tennis System.
Are you a hired gun?
So I was in Tennis System for a while when I lived in California.
Yeah.
Then I moved back to New York, and recently they lost their bass player, and I said, hey, like, I'm going to be in LA for the
Is that
month.
who you're playing, South by Southwest?
Yeah,
with?
exactly.
Gotcha.
So we just we recorded today over at Bedrock Studios for this. You ever heard of Part-Time Punks?
Nope.
It's like a radio show and a show that they do with the Echo maybe a couple times a month. But they have a radio station. We just recorded a couple tracks for them, and we're getting ready to go to South by.
And what style of music are they?
Loud, man. Like just like a lot of like My Bloody Valentine, kind of just like really loud, fuzzy, like shoegaze.
Oh yeah, shoegaze rock.
Yeah.
Do you play a Rickenbacker?
I play a Rickenbacker
Because that's the Cliff Burton, man.
Yeah.
And Rick James.
Yeah, Rick James. Lemmy played a
Lemmy.
Rickenbacker.
Yeah. So what do you think your main music that you listen to? Is it metal? Is it rock? What are you about?
I grew up playing punk. That was in the punk scene.
And who were you into?
That was me. Like Bad Brains.
Bad Brains.
You know
killer.
what I mean? Like the Clash.
My buddy's doing a film on them right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Great. I got a chance to play.
That DC stuff, you into that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved who else? Gorilla Biscuits. I don't know if you remember them or
Oh
not.
yeah, hell yeah.
But I grew up in the punk scene. I got a chance to play with HR's new band recently.
Oh no shit.
What a great guy!
Wow.
Legend. You know what I mean?
You played with him?
Well, my band
Opened up, yeah.
opened for their band. You know,
And did you get to talk to him and shit?
Yeah.
Fucking great.
great
right?
guy. I got a photo with him. Everything. He gave me his full attention, which was amazing. You know, you don't expect something like that.
It's funny because I was watching Sonic Highways.
Okay.
And they get to the DC chapter, and it's like Fugazi and of course, all that stuff, and you're just going like, man, this shit is like. I grew up on the West Coast, and it was like, it was like Metallica and that, and speed metal, and Slayer and Exodus and all that. And then across you had the Mabue Gardens, and that was like Dead Kennedys and all that, and Black Flag and Circle Jerks and everything.
yeah.
But I was speed metal and fully engulfed in Metallica, man.
That was you.
I mean, I just couldn't believe it,
Yeah. I had a good friend that was really into Metallica, and I loved listening to them. I never became like a metalhead but incredible band.
I wasn't really like a metalhead, I listened to everything. I listened to fucking, Guns N' Roses and Metallica and fucking and all over the board. But I was 100% obsessed with that speed metal scene because it was it was so groundbreaking. You're just like, holy shit, how fast are these guys?
Who can play like that?
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen Juan play like that. It's incredible.
It's incredible,
How?
man. And imagine now they're like in their 50s and they're out, they're like Metallica touring, and your right hand is a it's got to be like, holy shit.
Yeah,
you got to warm up now, yoga
I don't know
and
that
shit.
I could.
I saw you did a video recently. What was that for, a band?
That was for my LA band Tennis System. We shot it in what was it called? Thunder Studios in Long Beach. They shot. What a great place.
Yeah.
A lot of different stages. They shot like Rihanna's most recent music video there. Who else? They shot like the newest Tesla commercial there. But
Right.
we got a chance to go and shoot a music video there, which is crazy. It's just,
yeah, and you fucked up your neck and shit.
yeah, I realized that maybe I'm older than I thought. Yeah, man. My motto was, if you don't feel like you were in a train wreck,
Yeah.
you did it wrong. Like you didn't go all the way. And so every night I play, I always try to go all the way.
Now, you're playing music, but do you think it's just part-time now because you work with Hannibal and Amy and them, like if you go on the road?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if I should put like more of a focus on the one than the other. I mean, I love both. Like, I don't know that I can make a decision like that.
Yeah.
And people seem to like having me around doing both. So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know that I'd
fucking great,
sacrifice
right?
one at the moment.
Sometimes I always think like, why even think about that? The timing seems to be working out now.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Yeah.
Now you got a car collection. You and I hit it off on fucking
Car
cars. Well, I mean, you got a Gremlin that you've been cruising around.
Yeah, 1975 Gremlin. It's a good car.
Codename Gas Chamber.
Yeah, Dean noticed that my car reeks of gasoline. I guess maybe I got used to it, but
It's so funny because my nose is so sensitive to gas.
Yeah.
I think it's because of just paranoia over years of like, I don't want shit to blow up. I think it goes back to my first mini bike. It lit on fire.
Oh, really?
Like poured gas and it had a leak and the Briggs and Stratton caught on fire. I was just talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. But I can smell gas a mile away.
Yeah.
Either this kind of gas for the heaters or car gas. You know?
Well, you spotted it right away. We got to figure out what that is before I burst in the flames.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. So you got a Gremlin. What year is it?
It's a 75.
75. How many years do they make the Gremlin?
They made that from what, like 73 to 78? I might be making this up.
Right.
But it didn't go into the 80s. After that, they came with the AMC Eagle kind of took place of the Gremlin.
Did they sell the Gremlin at the same time the Pacer, the fishbowl one?
Yeah, so it was the Pacer, the
was
Hornet.
the luxury version or something?
No, it's just like the weird, ugly sister. I mean, they're both ugly cars, but
Yeah.
but yeah, like I mean, like the Hornet was in James Bond. I was saying this, one of the James Bonds. I can't remember which. They had the Hornet in it, and
Really?
the Gremlin was basically exactly the same as the Hornet with the ass end chopped off it. If you put like a 73
I
Gremlin
gotcha.
next to a 73 Hornet, exactly the same except the ass end of it.
When I was young, I wanted a Gremlin.
Yeah.
I had the Gremlin Hot Wheel. It was green.
You may have been the only one that wanted a Gremlin.
It's so weird. I don't know why I fucking loved it. And I love it now when I see it. And look, it was one of the most popular photos on my Instagram of all time when I put it up.
It was one of the first American-made like subcompact cars, they call it, and it really gave birth to the hatchback. If you think about it, you know?
It's really just a square Pinto.
Yeah.
Because the Pinto had like, I dare to say sexy lines, you know, but it was smooth.
Yeah, it had
and the Gremlin
some
was
good
square.
edges to it. Yeah.
And AMC, that company is Jeep, but AMC's not around anymore, right?
No, AMC was kind of dissolved into Chrysler.
Yeah, what'd we see somebody called it?
AMC is all makes combined, is what someone said.
Basically meaning it's just a bunch of cars.
They got some good. The Javelin though, crazy fast car.
Oh, the Javelin, the AMX Javelin.
Yeah, the AMX.
Wow, that shit was cool.
Very cool. Expensive car. If you want to buy an AMX now,
yeah,
you're gonna have to spend at least $30,000 on something.
Wow.
Like that. Yeah.
AMX Javelin was cool as fuck.
Great car. I'd love to have
I don't
one.
even see that car much.
Forget it.
Matter of fact, that's a cool car to invest in. People always hit me up, what car should I get? And I say Trans Am.
Yeah.
But this last Barrett Jackson a week ago threw this fucking Trans Am's. That's what happens, see?
Yeah.
Trans Am is it was like the last muscle car that you could really get for like 20 grand.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden at this Barrett Jackson, some went for 90, 100 grand.
God. Stupid.
Now all of a sudden they're all going to be like 50 and shit, you know?
There it goes.
And that's what we feel like Magnus Walker got a 928 and you're like, all right, you have a 928 and you're like, thank you, Magnus, for putting an extra $5,000 on my car.
I bought the 928 back in March and then 8 months later he got one. And mine just about doubled in value, just like that.
Now, what made you want to get a 928? Because I've always loved it.
It's a great car. The first time I ever really took notice to it was in Scarface.
Yeah, right?
So he went and he bought he bought a 928 from the Porsche dealership.
Yep, remember that?
And there's the scene. I mean, it was a beautiful car. He bought it because I guess Michelle Pfeiffer wouldn't get in his Cadillac. He had this Cadillac with
said it was cheesy.
Yeah, it had like a cheetah print interior. She said, I'm not
baby,
getting in that.
want to ride? She's all, not in that piece of shit.
Exactly. So what did he do? He went out and he went to a Porsche dealership and he bought the Porsche 928. But then there was a scene where the club got shot up and he ran out and he ran into his car and the headlights popped up. And I said, my God, I have to have that car.
It's so sick. And you've carried that love since then.
Yeah, so that's the first time I ever saw it. And then about 2 years ago, anyway, I was Hannibal was doing a show in San Diego, New Year's show.
Yeah.
And I was flying out to cover the show, and I bought my ticket, and accidentally, instead of flying into San Diego, SAN, the airport code, I flew into Santa Ana, SNA. I just screwed up. Just switched 2 letters, and I flew in. And Santa Ana is about like an hour and a half away from San Diego.
Yep.
But I had to be there like quickly, so I rented a car, and they upgraded me to a Dodge Challenger.
Oh yeah, great.
And I drove that car like a bat out of hell.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun that I was like, I need to get a performance vehicle.
Yeah.
And that's when, I've been looking at the 928 for years. I have to get one.
Yeah.
So I got the 928.
You find it though, where do you, like another state?
It was in Idaho.
And where'd you find it, eBay or Craigslist?
I found it on Craigslist. It was just like, it was a listing that was labeled wrong, so it wasn't getting a lot of hits.
That happened to me on a Harley.
So
the guy just put Harley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would click on every Harley, and I was like, "Oh, this guy, he fucked up big time."
And you swoop in.
It's like a $20,000 bike, and not getting any offers. I offer him $7,500. He takes it,
just like that.
Yeah, you know.
Sometimes you get lucky, man. I was looking for one for several months. I specifically wanted to get the one that was gold.
Yep.
And I wanted to get one that was manual transmission.
Yeah.
And I happened to find this one in Idaho that was it's called the Visoc edition. It was gold like I wanted. It was manual, all leather interior, but they only made 205 of these.
Wow.
And it came with a matching luggage set. So I saw this. I called the guy on a Thursday. I said, I want that car.
Yeah.
So I called him on Thursday. I flew there on Friday, and I had to be in LA for a wedding on Saturday. So I drove all the way from Nampa, Idaho to Los Angeles in one night.
Now, when you called them, how many miles were on it when you got it?
It was, let me think, like 130 or something like that.
Whoa.
Which is not bad.
130,000, and
Yeah.
you just said, I'm just, because a lot of times when a new owner buys a car, all of a sudden you drive it for 2 weeks and the fucking alternator goes out, because it's a different style of driving.
Yeah.
You drove it straight from there to LA.
A very foolish decision. I mean, it was a gamble, but it worked out in my
Yeah.
favor. So, but it was at like a Eurosport mechanic.
Yeah.
Like they were selling it for one of their clients.
There you go.
So
So it'd been serviced.
Well, here's the thing. Here's a little tip for you guys. If you were buying from me, I asked them. I said, like, you know, is there anything that you feel like should be done to this car before I buy it? Because I'd just as soon pay you guys to do it.
Yeah.
So I gave them an opportunity to make more money off of me. They said no. I said, all right, well, I'm going to come buy it like it is.
Yeah.
So that was a good indication that it was in pretty good shape.
How much you get it for?
I got it for $5,800 actually,
5,800.
which is absurd.
So great.
That very car, because these like 928 collectors are guys like they're fanatics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're nuts.
So after I got it, someone contacted me and said, "Hey, like someone tried to sell that exact car on eBay a few years ago.
Yeah.
They didn't succeed, but they tried to sell it for $25,000.
Wow.
My exact car that I have today.
Wow.
It didn't sell, but I got it for $5,800, and now it's worth probably at least $12,000, if not more.
Wow.
Just like that.
Now, any rust on it or anything?
No, it's perfect.
Wow. And now you took it out to New York. Did you drive it to New York?
I drove it to New York.
You drove it to New York.
across the country.
How many days did it take you?
I did it with my good friend Daniel. We took maybe about like 6 days to do it.
Oh, you just cruised and hit hotels and shit?
So we stopped in Austin. We saw some friends there. We stopped in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Along the way, I made a post on like some 928 forums, and I said, hey, I'm doing this drive. And so a bunch of people contacted me and said, oh, you got to stop in here, do a drive together. So I stopped and met some other people.
Wow.
What a great community. I mean, just the car community in general is just so amazing.
It really is. I think there's communities that are like, you know, to me, the stereo audiophiles, they're super nerds and stuff. But man, people that have a passion for something, it's just so great. You know?
Like, when you're in there, like you're like it's like a brotherhood. You know, everyone just wants to help.
Yeah.
You know,
You got a garage at your place in New York?
no.
Oh.
I pay for a garage for the 928.
Oh, I was gonna
It's
say.
not like I don't have like my own personal garage.
Yeah.
but
Is it how far away from the
It's
house?
like a block away. So
Oh, that's
it's
it?
not bad. It's great. I mean, I throw it in there. They park it for me.
How much?
$250 a month,
Ooh.
which is not ideal. But for
Yeah.
me to keep that car off the street, I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
God,
do it.
you can't have that car on the street.
But like even it just for pot. I mean,
Even though it was only $5,800, you know, to me it's like I'm the same way. I love Harley FXRs. They stopped making them in '94, you know.
Yeah.
And they're $10,000 bikes, but to me it's like you can't get another one. You know, like if you find a super clean one, you can find a million beat up ones,
Sure.
but a clean one, then all of a sudden it's like, to me it's like valuable as far as. You can't get another one.
Yeah.
Like when
that's how I feel about it. With this car. Like I said, only 200. Just a little over 200 of these were made.
Yeah, you got the luggage with it?
I bought the luggage separately. And here's something crazy. A lot of times the luggage is more valuable than the car.
Oh yeah, of course.
I
'Cause
bought
it's
the
so
luggage
rare,
set.
People threw it away. or
Yeah.
whatever.
I bought my luggage set for about $1,000.
Yeah.
But recently on eBay, the same luggage that I have, $7,500.
More than the car.
More than the car, dude. Absurd. So adding the luggage to the car increased the value of it, and then Magnus Walker, God bless his heart,
Yeah.
he did great things for me. Of course, now I'm gonna have trouble if I want to buy another one, but
Yeah.
I got one.
I saw
on
a great one on eBay. The S. I want the S.
S is very cool. The S1 and the S4.
S1, man. What's the difference of the S4? It's all wheel drive? Or S4? What is that?
No, I mean just they redesigned the motor on them. You know,
Right.
every year something's a bit different
Yeah.
to them. Like the spoiler
But
design
this one was
changed.
black.
Yeah.
And it's just with the tan leather, you
Yeah,
know. And
gorgeous.
it had a stick.
Yeah.
Rare stick, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of the 928s are all automatic. So it's really rare to find a stick on
Yeah,
them.
it's weird. It's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Like, why would you buy that's a driver's car?
Yeah.
Why would you buy that automatic?
They're slow though, right? Magnus said they're pretty slow. It's not like
It's not. It doesn't. I mean, not like other.
it's
cars,
weird
you
because
know.
it's a Porsche. You know, you think that they would try to do a motor on it.
Well, it's a GT. Don't forget. So it's made for going long distances.
Oh, yeah, Grand Touring.
You know what I mean? It's meant for like driving on the autobahn at 130 for 3 hours.
Oh
you know what I
wow,
mean?
yeah.
So but, I mean, those highs. Once you're up, when I was driving through the desert on my trip across the country, it was 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
No one was in sight, and I just wanted to see how far I could take it.
Yeah.
And I took it up to about 140, and I was
Oh really?
so happy.
Man.
My friend was asleep. I'm glad he didn't wake up.
My buddy Casey had one in the I'd say early 90s. Dope silver one.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever had a panic attack. I never had panic attacks,
Yeah.
you know, and it had the shit back seat.
Yeah.
So, the back seat is a wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
good for maybe your child. But
I'm in the back seat, and something rolled through my mind. When I was young, I played hide and go seek and hid in a dryer at the house,
Yeah.
and I was locked in.
Oh, God.
So I have this thing where if I don't have a way out, like I have to ride in the front seat of a car if it's not a four-door.
Sure.
I just can't do it. And this is how I learned. I was riding in his 928
Yeah.
in that back seat, and we were just on the 110 in traffic coming out of Eagle Rock, and all of a sudden I was like, "Get me out of here!" Well, I was just
It just
like,
came over you, huh?
It just hit me like, "Hey, I got no way out of here." And we were in traffic, and I was like, "What if someone fucking slams us from behind?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trapped back here," and everything went through my mind instantly, and I just fucking had this attack. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I was like, "Ah!" And so then the whole weekend, I told the other guy, "I got to ride in the front." And
Yeah.
he thought I was pulling some shotgun trick on him, you know?
No.
I was like, "Dude, I'm telling you, I can't ride back there, man." And so they just try to clown me all the time. "Oh, you're gonna give us the old panic attack?"
Yeah.
It wasn't even called panic attack back then. It was just like no one knew what it was. It was just like, I'm dying.
Dean's freaking out in the back seat.
I was, man. It was not good. That car's a straight two-seater. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. But I love that car.
Unless you got a pug, you know.
Put the pug in the back
Pug
seat.
could roll back
The
there.
pug and roll in the back seat.
like a champ.
I actually put. You know Al Jackson?
Yeah.
Comedian, big guy. He's got like a football player body.
Yeah.
I stuck him in the backseat of my 928
No.
once. Because it was who was it? It was Hannibal, me, Al Jackson, I think Al's cousin,
Oh my God.
and we were rolling around LA in the 928, and Hannibal took the front seat, and Al. I don't know how we did it, but we got him in the back seat.
Oh my God. Pretzel.
I got a video somewhere of him climbing out of it. Looks like a clown car.
Oh fuck. That's insane, man. You and any other cars?
I have a 83 Dodge B150 van, like a street van. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
I've been working on that, trying to get the interior right.
Where's that at?
That's in Pennsylvania, actually.
wow.
My folks are good enough to let me keep it there.
Oh yeah, nice. And then your gremlin lives in San Diego.
That's right. Yeah, I got a caretaker in San Diego.
You got the gremlin free.
That's a crazy
Tell
story.
that story.
Crazy story. So, at the time, I was in Hillcrest in San Diego, sending in a Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend and I, at the time, we were having an argument about something. I don't know what. And as we're arguing, I see this gremlin drive by. So, mid-conversation, I just ran out the door, chased after this guy, because I've always loved the gremlin.
Yeah.
I'm like you. For some reason, I always loved this car. So, I caught up with him at the stoplight, and I said, "Hey, I like your car." He said, "Thank you." I said, "You want to sell it to me?" I said, "Maybe." So I had him pull over. We exchanged information. So I talked to him on the phone a little while later. He said, I was looking to get $1,500 for it, but I'd be willing to let it go for $1,000. Are you okay with that? And I was like, "Yeah, it sounds great." So I went to look at the car, just to get a test drive. I wasn't kicking the tires. I wasn't trying to negotiate.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, how does 500 sound?" I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." I was like, "Yes, absolutely. Sold. Let's do this."
You're not even jamming him up. He's
No.
just dropping money.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I would hate to see what happened if I was trying to negotiate with him. But no, he said $500. And I said, "Sold." So the next day we went to the DMV to do the paperwork and all that. And if you've ever been to the DMV, you know the line is just ungodly.
Yeah.
So we had plenty of time to get to know each other. By the end of it, we were good friends. And as we were doing the paperwork, he looks at me and says, "Marcus, you know what? It's yours. I want you to have it." And I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "I want you to have this car." I said, "Listen, man, you can't just give me your car. That doesn't work like this." He goes, "No, I want it to go to someone who's going to take care of it. I think you're that person. Don't make me feel bad. Please just take it." So this guy that I don't even know gives me his 1975 AMC Gremlin, one of my favorite cars of all time.
So fucking
Just
cool,
like that.
right?
It's just amazing.
That's how the planet works, man.
There's great people out there, man.
Yeah,
You
there
know what
is,
I mean?
man. There is great people. People, they focus on the negative shit in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, I never get into that. It's just like, really, man? You know, because I'm 50, and it's been pretty fucking good out there.
You've had a pretty good ride, huh?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Look at the new crib here, you know? It's like,
a beautiful spot, by the way. Beautiful spot. I'm looking around. I see. What do I see? I see a Cannonball Run Dom DeLuise van up.
yeah, man. My buddy, I think Fletch got me that for a birthday like 100 years ago, but that thing's dope, right?
Seen all
Cannonball Run.
I see nunchucks hanging from your banister.
You gotta have that, man, in case someone breaks in. You know? Yeah, you got any vinyl? You collect vinyl?
Yeah, I got a decent record collection of just my favorite stuff. You know what I mean? Because I move around a lot, and it's just hard to manage stuff like that.
This
you know
was
what I mean?
the first time I had to move since collecting vinyl, and what a fucking pain. First of all, weighs 1,000,000 pounds.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
and you don't want it all fucked up. But I tell you, when I'm at the house, I refuse to listen to music any other way except for the turntable, because 90% of the time I'm out on the road and I'm listening to iMusic, you know?
Yeah.
So when I'm home, that's all and it's on 24/7. I just put records on. I just let them play. And
Well, you got a great setup here. I'm jealous of it.
yeah,
It's gorgeous.
You can get in on that for like $1,500, man.
You too can own Dean's a sound system like Dean's here.
That style, yeah. All right, man. Well, fucking, I'm glad I'm glad we met, and we've had a great couple of days here.
Amazing.
You're out visiting from New York.
Yeah, man.
Here.
Thanks for making a brother feel welcome.
Yeah, fucking cool. And we're gonna go downtown tonight to the Standard.
Yeah, you're at the Standard tonight.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. Have you ever done comedy at the Standard before?
No, but I hear it's a good show.
Yeah.
And you were at the store last night with me. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That
Yeah,
was a
absolutely.
good thing in there. And hopefully you'll stay and through the weekend, man.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out, man.
Yep.
Be good. So I guess.
Let's give off your Twitter and your Snapchat and everything.
Okay. Yeah. So
People see your Instagram photos.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you can find me on any of Dean's most recent photos on his Instagram. You tagged me in those.
Yeah.
My Twitter is Marcus Price, MarcusPrice, and my Snapchat is Brooklyn Bart with no vowels in Brooklyn. BRKLYN Bart.
Word. Why'd you do that? Just make it hard to find you?
Well, no, I had it at one point, and then like you, I had a hard time just finding purpose in it.
Yeah.
So I deleted the account, and then because that's back when it was just dick pics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once it became, like I said, a household name.
How did it change from that to what it is now? You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden it was like Instagram now without dick pics.
I don't know who did it first, but someone carried it over.
It's crazy, right?
Someone carried it over.
All right, man. Great to have you on.
Thanks,
and, and looking forward to coming out to New York and fucking.
Hell yeah. Let's do New York together, huh?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I can't wait.
We'll drive the 928 together.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be so great, right? Just cruising the comedy clubs in the 928.
Fuck yes.
Rolling in my 928. All right, guys. There you go, man. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk.